I've written and self-published 2 children's books, Ham, Cheese and Pickles, the early cases, and Ham, Cheese and Pickles, the school day dilemmas. And when I'm talking about this to people I know, how we're going to writing, they always ask, how do you come up with ideas? So here's a good example because it happened yesterday. So I was kind of looking for some character, not necessarily a case as such, but someone that doesn't, that you don't necessarily understand, what they do, so you can mystify the job. And then I saw a car drive past with one of those signs at the top, like you get with driving instructors. And I thought it was a driving instructor one, and it wasn't. It said molecatcher. And then I was like, huh, molecatcher, that's a good one. And then I was like, all right, well, do we have a local molecatcher? And I was like, think of a name. And then I thought, kids works better if it's got some rhyme into it, so Thatcher the molecatcher. And then I started to think, where do we go from there? How do I introduce that? So, is there catching moles? They don't necessarily know what it is. Thinking, could one of them have been watching some film, black and white or whatever, at the, grandparents, a mole gets mentioned, and then they've been explained that it means spy. So now they think they've got a spy catcher, so they can build it up in their head that, it's some sort of agent catching spies. Obviously moles dig tunnels, so we were able to build some mystique out of that, and I thought, it's not a bad idea. So that's going to be one of the chapters in the upcoming book, which is the Woodland Wonders, of where it expands from the school or the village onto the edge. I've created a urban legend for it, which is always, always fun, trying to think like 90s or whatever, like village urban legends. So yeah, if you want to check out these books, you can get them on Amazon. The link's in the description, and stay tuned for more.